Alright, welcome along to a new video. We're going to get into a little story here about my first week in high school. This is going back to 1990, and again, just a different time in life, different way of dealing with things, and just a time that doesn't really seem to exist anymore in the way that you deal with things. As I said a couple of videos back, I think today's culture, I miss the 90s, but I don't want to lose what we have now with the internet and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely love that there. But the 90s way of living, if you could integrate the 90s mindset and the modern day life, that would be a better place. Anyway, this story here is one of these stories where, as I've said before, don't ever start a fight. That's a piece of advice my father gave me years ago. Don't start a fight, but don't walk away from one either. And if you have to fight, this is something I personally learned on my own, as if you have to fight, go for the biggest person. Go. And this has served me well over the years. Very important lesson to learn from the first week in high school. I had two brothers that attended that high school, so they had me warned what was going to happen. There's a tradition in this high school where the fifth years, the people in their last year in high school, would get hold of people that were starting school under their first year, the new guys. They would drag you into the bathroom, shove your head down the toilet and flush it. Just, you've seen it happening. I seen it happening to a couple of guys. It wasn't as, you're getting the horror stories from people that attended the high school before. You were kind of expecting this to happen everybody at some point. Not the case. I've seen it happen on a couple of people in the first couple of days, and I thought to myself, okay, I could be next, because I was the fat chubby kid whenever I was early high school. And there's a photograph of me somewhere. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm not even going to let you see it. Right now, a little bit overweight, but compared to what I was my last year in high school, I had like two chins, just no definition, absolute mess, fat guy. But I was a chubby kid right the way through, bad asthma, the works, but fairly strong at the same time, just because of my size, my build, my weight. If I went on, there was quite a bit of weight coming on behind me. So the first week was coming to near an end. I think it was probably the Thursday morning at the first break, and we're all out, hanging out, getting to know our new classmates and whatnot, and a spot, the fifth year's coming, and the ringleader, the biggest guy out of them, you see him clocks me, and he points, that one. So five of them come at me. I try to get away from them. I'm already in the toilets at this stage. I've just finished using the toilet. I'm about to leave. They come in, big guy, that kid. We're going to get him this time. So always go for the biggest one. Like, I look at these guys, absolutely huge compared to me. Remember, first year in high school, not that big at that stage. You're never that tall. These guys in fifth year, it was, looking at most of them, you were looking up at them. They were huge compared to us. So my father, just that piece of advice had come into my head: never start a fight, don't walk away from one either, but if you do have to fight, go for the biggest one. So I'm not, my head is knocking down this toilet, and instead of trying to get away, run from them, there was no hope. They had the door blocked, a couple of guys blocking the door, 4 or 5 other guys, this huge kid, long hair, real 90s rocker sort of style. They go for me, and okay, this kid with the long hair, if I'm going to go down swinging. So I go on throwing punches with absolutely no hope of taking any of these guys out. They're trying to drag me in, and I'm elbowing and whatnot, making no headway whatsoever. Just like, they're dragging me across this room towards one of the cubicles to stick my head down the toilet, and I'm giving it that dare, and I'm like, no chance, you're not doing it to me. And the big guy, he stops them at this point, and he's like, you know what, this kid's alright. And I'll never forget this to my day and day. He kind of just comes over and takes me by the, puts the arm round the broad of my back, takes me out towards the doorway, out of the toilets, and he says, look, from now on, if you have any problems, you come and see me. And I'm like, thank you for not putting me down the toilet. And he says, I can respect that. We've never seen that the whole time we've been here. We've all, when most of us have gone through this sort of thing, but nobody has actually come in, throwing punches at 7 or 8 guys, whatever it might have been. And he was just like, from now on, anybody bothers you, you come and talk to me or some of our guys. And from time to time, something would have happened, and I would have seen this kid across the playground. Some kid might have been starting trouble or something, or trying to get a fight going. I'd be kind of like, pointing, this guy's tormenting my happiness, and these guys would come across each time and just like, hey, you slide on, leave this kid alone. So first year in high school, I had the protection of the big kids in their last year at school. It was, high school wasn't the best memories that I'll ever have, but that was fun. That was a fun memory to be thinking about it once again. So if you ever find yourself in the scenario where there's a whole bunch of people coming at you, always go for the biggest one. And I do have an horror story about that we'll get to in due course. So that's going to do it for the story time, and I will talk to you in the next video.